Well, no food in lunch with Lombardi today, but a nice view of Ocean Beach, one of the largest beaches in the state of California. Came over here to the abandoned Cliff House. We could flip the camera around in a little bit to talk about the 49ers offense. I know the live last night was about the defense. Has it improved? Well, we'll see. It's going to take some good development from Robert Saleh and company. The 49ers obviously believe in their coaching staff on that side of the ball, but one of the main conclusions of the live last night was that even if the 49ers do end up better defensively this year, it's going to have to be an offense-driven team for a significant portion of time. I mean, you look at the Rams formula, and they had one of the worst defenses in the league last year with their youth movement for the first 3 months, and then they turned it around over the last month plus the playoffs. So I think that you could expect something similar from the 49ers defense. I think they will get better as the year goes along, health willing. But I think that's going to be the case. And the way that the 49ers have viewed this is the offense can be the locomotive that pulls the train. Now, the good news there is I think the 49ers offense is the best in the division. Even with everything that went wrong last year, the 49ers finished ranked as the number 11 offense efficiency-wise in the NFL. Now they're number 26 on defense and dead last, number 32 in EPA on special teams, but the offense was still an above average unit. And that's with Trent Williams out for much of the season, Christian McCaffrey out for most of the season, Brandon Ayuk out for most of the season, and then all the other struggles that the 49ers had. They even missed Brock Purdy for a couple games in 2024. So if all of that can happen and you're still the best offense in the NFC West, which I think was the case last year, the stats showed that Arizona and the 49ers were about the same, all things considered. But in the games that Purdy was healthy, the 49ers were cut above the Cardinals. The Rams were at number 15 last year. The Seahawks were at number 18 last year. Now, maybe Seattle takes a step forward with Sam Darnold instead of Geno Smith, but I wouldn't hold my breath on Seattle. I wouldn't hold my breath on the Rams either. I mean, Matthew Stafford has been a below-average efficiency quarterback over the course of the past 2 seasons, and he's not getting any younger. His contract, by the way, the details are finally out. Looks like Stafford is going to bring in about $48 million this year, $40 million next year. Basically, 2 years, $45 million for Matthew Stafford, who, yes, I mean, it did take a discount probably relative to the market, but the Rams are going to have to go youth movement at quarterback at some point soon, right? Stafford has been declining as a QB. They lost Cooper Kupp, but he was declining as a receiver, so they let him go. He's now with Seattle. We'll see if that can help the Seahawks offense. Total renewal over there. But I'm looking at the 49ers offense, and I think the bottom line is that they should pace the division, which is probably a big part of the fact that the 49ers are betting favorites to be the NFC West champions this coming season. Plus 150 are the odds for the 49ers. It's them, followed by the Rams, and then the Cardinals and the Seahawks are longer shots. They're at plus 500 to win the division. So amidst all the fury and all the uproar this offseason, and I get it, there's been a lot of roster chaos for the 49ers, and then there was a lot of draft chaos because this is a team that had 11 picks, which was the most in the NFL. Amidst all the chaos, it's like waves crashing into the Pacific Ocean. The 49ers have remained NFC West favorites. People asking where I'm at, this is the Cliff House in San Francisco, which unfortunately is currently abandoned. That giant camera right there, it's an iconic site in the city, but there's nothing in this building out here all the way at the Pacific Ocean, so there's fences around it. Where I'm at, I was able to access, but you can't get inside there. Used to be a nice restaurant. Hopefully it turns into something nice again, because especially on a sunny day, I know today's not sunny, but especially on a sunny day, this becomes just a spectacular spot. So I think that somebody hopefully will rent out the Cliff House again, and hopefully it will become something good. But yes, I'm over by Sutro Baths, I'm over by the Cliff House, and I am looking at Ocean Beach right now through my camera lens behind me. That is one of the largest beaches in the state of California. Good spot to talk about the chaotic offseason as we see the Pacific Ocean just pummel these cliffs. talk about that 49ers offense, which I think is the best in the division. Now, I'm writing about the offensive line right now. That's going to be up on the San Francisco Standard tomorrow morning, I believe, after this next Warriors game, which is tonight at 4:30. And the O-line is funny because it's what everybody likes to complain about. I think for 2025, the 49ers are actually in decent shape. They're returning 4 or 5 starters, and the one starter who's not returning, Aaron Banks, probably played the worst out of all 5 starters last year at left guard. They drafted Connor Colby, who will compete for that left guard spot. They re-signed Ben Barch, who played good football for them last year. There's a chance the 49ers upgrade a line that was ranked right in the middle of the pack last year. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. And I don't think it was the reason that the 49ers were 6-11. That fell more to the defense and the special teams unit. So as far as a foundation up front, for the short term, the 49ers have it. For the long term, there's obviously concern because they weren't able to draft a tackle. I think they wanted to. They were able to sign DJ Humphries yesterday, but who knows how well he can play. He's just going to be a prove-it deal kind of guy, swing tackle coming off the ACL in 2023. Wasn't very good for the Chiefs last year, but he's got a year further of a gap away from the injury now. So I think the offensive line is what it is. It's a mediocre line for the 49ers that Brock Purdy, thankfully, can make look better by the fact that his pressure to sack rate is so good. He's a top 5 guy in pressure to sack rate. He's got great mobility, great escapability, great processor. I mean, the offense, the most important player on this team is Brock Purdy. He's the guy that can make everybody look better. And I think that the most important thing for San Francisco and the most attainable fix for them this year is get better separation for Purdy, because that can also help the pass protection because he can get rid of the ball quicker. They ranked dead last year, and I think that hand in hand with separation goes the first down run defense. While everybody's fixated on pass protection gaffes that show up on film, those are problems for almost every single NFL team. The one that's a little bit more fixable for the 49ers right now and can lead to a positive domino effect elsewhere is run blocking. And that's where I think they, both in run blocking and in run efficiency, they took significant steps back last season. They were the top team in football in 2023 in first down run efficiency. That dropped down to number 20 in 2025. So there was no Christian McCaffrey for most of the season. Isaac Guerrero was hurt a lot, and it took him a while to find his comfort zone, right, for the 49ers. They have to hope that that's better here in 2025, because if you don't have good first down run efficiency in a Shanahan system, a lot of stuff starts to, I don't want to say collapse, but it really starts to teeter like a house of cards. Because it's just like the defense. If you have bad run defense, then you're facing as a defense a lot of 3rd and 5s instead of 3rd and 7s. Well, if your run offense on first down isn't great, well, you're facing a lot of 3rd and 7s instead of 3rd and 5s. And the conversion rate on 3rd and 5 across the league is 10% higher than the conversion rate on 3rd and 7. So those extra 2 yards that you could theoretically pick up on 1st and 2nd downs with better early down rush efficiency is massive in the game of probability, in the game of offensive efficiency. So I think the 49ers need to improve the first down run efficiency. I believe they think they've got the formula with Christian McCaffrey returning, and we'll see how left guard shakes out, but I think they believe they can be better than what Aaron Banks brought them last year. And I think that the separation all works off of that. Like, it's all interconnected. Yes, they were ranked dead last year, but it's a lot harder to separate if you don't have down and distance leverage, right? If you're constantly facing 2nd and 8, 3rd and 7, well, the offense is going to be facing defenses who are geared up to stop the pass, who are geared up to plaster in coverage. But you have play action at a much bigger disposal if you're facing 2nd and 6, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3. It's those couple yards of the run defense that make a big difference. And then it's also the availability of your star players, right? Brandon Ayuk is a really good separator. They're hoping for him to be back this year. But when I was at the owners' meetings down in West Palm Beach, much warmer beach than this, talking to all the 49ers brass, the big thing that they're relying on is the return of Christian McCaffrey. I think that he's a domino effect kind of player, point blank. So if he's on the field in passing situations, he draws defensive attention. If he's on the field in rushing situations, he makes you better on the ground. He's giving you yardage in plain sight, and I think he's giving you hidden yardage because of the defensive attention that he draws even on plays that don't go directly to him. So for the offense, I mean, there's a reason why the 49ers are confident that the offense could be the locomotive that leads this train. And it is because the offense has proven pieces set to return who can lead a unit that has been in the top half of the league even when it's really struggled. It's the defense that I don't expect to be in the top half of the league for the first few games of this season. Now, maybe the defense will pleasantly surprise 49ers fans, but it's the only way that I see this working is if the offense is the locomotive of this team. And the good news for the 49ers is that it's well positioned to be that. So those are my initial thoughts in this lunch with Lombardi, which happens to come without food today from the Cliff House in San Francisco. I'm going to lean a little closer here so I can see some questions at lunchtime. Ooh, that bird just flew right by me. You guys can take another look at the Cliff House. I mean, it's still beautiful out here, even despite the fact that it is an overcast day. The funny thing is I could drive 10 minutes inland into San Francisco and there's probably going to be sunshine. And I think that's what I'm going to do, because you often start chasing sun in weather like this. Questions welcome. I am close to my phone now, so I could actually read them. I was thinking about doing something crazy and climbing over this wall and doing the live from this cliff right here and like having this little mini tripod film me standing here with that in the background. But I didn't want to die, and I also didn't want to get arrested or reprimanded for being on the wrong side of this wall. I think it would have freaked a lot of you people out, so I decided to just stay back here within safety. And you know, now I could take your 49ers questions without worrying about falling off of a cliff down into the water. You guys want me to walk over to the Sutro baths? We could turn this into a little bit of a history lesson. I think that would be fun. Yeah, we're gonna go on a little bit of a walk. I'm getting my backpack. I'm gonna flip the camera and we will proceed. I'm ready for questions, guys. Get them in while you still have a chance. Jump into the water online. So we are now officially in the Great White Shark Triangle. This is the open Pacific Ocean. This is no longer the bay. The most shark attacks within this, it's like this radius or a triangle really. The most shark attacks on humans in documented human history have happened within the Red Triangle, which is obviously in the water right behind me. I did not make it to the Warriors game the other night, but I made it to Splash, which is the bar right by Chase Center. That's one of the questions. Nobody offered me a ticket to the Warriors game, so I was happy watching it with my buddy Jack at the bar. Met some awesome fans of the YouTube channel. That was really cool. Hopefully I could go to a game in the next round. And hopefully they can end the series tonight. There you have another view of beautiful Ocean Beach. I love this shot in San Francisco. You can just see the waves crashing onto the shore because you've got both the rock formations and the sandy beach. So you get a little bit of the best of both worlds. So wait till I show you guys now. We're on the abandoned deck of the Cliff House. There's the old Camera Obscura, little landmark in the city. Somebody's saying they've swam the Red Triangle. You know, the thing is, I'm not afraid of sharks. I have swum in this ocean. I'm not afraid of whatever's there. You know that they're around you, but typically they're not going to be interested in you. So you take your chances because life is full of risk. But this is how it looks. And the area that I have swum in is way across over there. I started off at one of the lighthouses on the other side of the Golden Gate. So we're gonna put the camera down over here to check out a famous site. You guys are talking about sharks more than you're talking about. I can show you Sutro bats. That's right there. We can even zoom in here. So this used to be a big pool complex, a big indoor pool complex right at the ocean. It actually used the water that was crashing in from the ocean as its own water. And they say that it had a heating system for the water, but the people who swam there say that it wasn't all too warm. But it was still this massive indoor pool complex called the Sutro Baths around the turn of the century, like 18th to 19th century, not the 19th to the, no, 19th to the 20th century. Yeah, the 1800s to the 1900s in San Francisco. It was then abandoned because the water was probably too cold and people got softer over the years. And in 1972, it was still there, but then it mysteriously caught on fire. It was probably somebody trying to collect insurance money. I don't think the fire's been solved to this day. But now just the ruins are there. You could see the old outline of the building, and you could actually walk around the ruins of the Sutro Baths. Pretty cool though, right? It's a little San Francisco history for you. Who is my comp for Nick Martin? Well, I'll tell you who the 49ers comp is. It's Dre Greenlaw. Hopefully my mic is not rustling too much. There we go. Small, undersized, but fast and loves the hit. That's who Nick Martin is, and that was Dre Greenlaw. He's a little bit lighter than Dre Greenlaw, but I get it. The league is downsizing, especially the skill positions, so the guys who cover the skill positions have to build greater agility. I think he's a little faster than Dre. He runs a 4.5 40. That'd be my comp for Nick Martin. Now, we're talking about sharks, so why don't I leave you with this on Lunch with Lombardi. This is the great, or not the great white triangle, the red triangle. This is where all the where all the great white sharks are. Remember who the 49ers used to call the shark? It was K'Wan Williams. Say that Upton Stout reminds them of K'Wan Williams.